Have you ever noticed how easy it is to dream about success? To imagine a future where you are wealthy, respected, powerful. Yet when the moment comes to do the hard, uncomfortable work that turns those dreams into reality, your body suddenly feels heavy, your mind finds excuses, and the word tomorrow becomes your favorite escape. If that feels familiar, then listen carefully, because this story isn't just a story. It's a mirror. In a peaceful village, surrounded by endless green fields and golden sunsets, there lived a young man named Amir. Amir was young, strong, intelligent, and full of potential, the kind of potential people talk about with excitement but rarely see fulfilled. He would often stand in the marketplace, speaking confidently about his future. One day, he would say, his eyes shining with imagination, "I will be the richest farmer here. My crops will be taller than anyone's. My land will glow gold under the sun. People will respect me. They will seek my advice." And people believed him. Not because he had achieved anything, but because he spoke so beautifully about what he would achieve. But there was one problem. Amir was addicted to comfort. When the first light of morning touched the village rooftops and other farmers walked toward their fields, tools in their hands and determination in their hearts, Amir pulled his blanket tighter and chose warmth over growth. When the sun burned fiercely overhead and the air felt heavy with effort, other men worked until their backs ached, while Amir sat under a tree discussing strategies for a future he wasn't building. He loved the idea of success, but he refused the price of discipline. One evening, his uncle, an old farmer with hands hardened by decades of labor and eyes sharpened by experience, came to visit him. The old man walked slowly through Amir's field. The soil was rich, the land was fertile, the opportunity was perfect. But it was empty. No crops, no effort, no progress. The uncle turned to Amir and said quietly, "My son, why does your land look like a graveyard for dreams? You speak of golden harvests, yet I see only untouched soil." Amir smiled casually, as if success were guaranteed by intention alone. "Don't worry, uncle. I will start tomorrow." The old man sighed, not out of anger, but out of understanding. He had heard that word destroy too many lives. From his pocket, he pulled out two small cloth bags. Inside each bag was a seed. "These are special seeds," he said calmly. "The first is the seed of ambition. If you plant it and care for it daily, truly care for it, it will grow into a tree that gives fruit, shade, prosperity, and respect." He paused, letting the words sink in. "The second is the seed of laziness. This one requires no effort. It grows by itself, quickly, but it spreads weeds across your entire land. It suffocates everything around it. It destroys silently." Then he placed both seeds into Amir's hands. "Both are powerful. Both will grow. The only difference is this: one grows with discipline, the other grows with neglect. Your future depends on which one you feed." That night, Amir stared at the seeds for a long time. He knew what he wanted. But wanting is easy. The next morning, when it was time to act, he felt tired. "I'll plan it tomorrow," he whispered. And tomorrow became next week, and next week became next month. Finally, out of boredom more than commitment, Amir planted both seeds, telling himself he would manage them later. But he never did. Days passed. The laziness seed did not wait for motivation. It didn't need planning. It didn't require discipline. It grew aggressively. Thick weeds spread across the land like silent invaders. They wrapped around the soil, choking its potential, draining its strength. Meanwhile, the ambition seed, fragile, hopeful, dependent on effort, struggled alone. Without water, without protection, without consistency, it began to wither. One afternoon, Amir walked to his field, and what he saw made his heart drop. Weeds everywhere. Chaos everywhere. And in the middle of all that destruction, a tiny dying plant, the ambition he once proudly spoke about. In that moment, he understood something that most people understand too late. Laziness doesn't announce itself loudly. It whispers comfort. It offers excuses. It promises later, and while you are relaxed, it is building your failure. His uncle returned and stood beside him. "This field," the old man said softly, "is your life. Ambition is fragile in the beginning. It needs daily action, repeated discipline, consistent effort. But laziness grows without permission. It feeds on delay." Amir fell to his knees, not because the land was ruined, but because he realized his biggest enemy was never lack of opportunity. It was his own hesitation. That night he couldn't sleep. Every wasted morning replayed in his mind. Every comfortable decision felt like a betrayal. For the first time in his life, he understood that dreams without action are hallucinations. Before sunrise the next day, Amir stood up. No excitement, no motivation, just a decision. He walked into the field and began pulling the weeds with his bare hands. It hurt. His back burned. His palms bled. His body screamed to stop. But this time he did not negotiate with discomfort. Day after day, he removed the weeds. Day after day, he watered the ambition seed. Slowly, almost invisibly, it began to grow. Its roots went deeper, its stem grew stronger. Its leaves stretched toward the sun. Years later, that tiny seed became a massive tree, producing fruit, wealth, shade, and respect. But the greatest transformation was not in the tree. It was in Amir. He was no longer the man who talked about success. He was the man who worked for it, especially on the days he didn't feel like it. Now let me ask you something honestly. Which seed are you watering today? Because whether you realize it or not, every single day you are feeding one of them. Success is not built in dramatic moments. It's built in quiet mornings when nobody is watching. It's built in discipline when motivation disappears. It's built in action, especially when comfort is calling your name. If you are ambitious but lazy, understand this clearly. Your dreams are not impossible. They are simply unfed. Water your ambition daily. Pull out the weeds of delay, distraction, and comfort. Stop worshiping tomorrow. Start today. Because if you don't choose discipline, laziness will choose your future for you. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you in the next one.